On your mark, get set, throw!
Hello, this is Paul from Play Magazine, and this is Life is Strange episode 3. If you've seen the videos I've done on the other 2 episodes of Life is Strange, you'll know I'm a big fan of the series and what it's doing. I was really impressed with the first 2 and the way that they dealt with some of the things in that. I won't go into that now. You can obviously go back to those videos if you're interested. In regards to episode 3, while I still think it was good and I still enjoyed it for the most part, there definitely were some things about it that concern me when it comes to how the series is going to progress. To cut right to what my main issue with it is, and again, without getting to anything specific, because I don't want to spoil anything, the end of the game, it does feel like it's falling into the cliches of time travel fiction a bit. There's quite a shocking end, but I did see that coming because it's the kind of thing you've seen before in time traveling films and books and what have you. Also, there's a sense that because of what happens at the end, a lot of your choices are going to be irrelevant now. That's a disappointment because obviously Life is Strange is a game that's about choice, and it's kind of saying to you, oh, depending on what you choose, that's going to affect the story and that's going to be important. And if it's then going to render a lot of your choices meaningless, then you kind of feel like, well, what's the point? If your choices aren't going to be made meaningless, then looks like the end is going to have to renege on itself somehow. It's going to have to go back on itself to make sure that what you did before does have a meaning. And then you kind of feel like, well, this shock ending's kind of just there for the sake of it, and it doesn't really mean anything if you're just going to go back on it in the future. Obviously, I don't know exactly how they're going to deal with it. Maybe they'll deal with it in an interesting way. We'll have to see on that. Other things about the game, I may be alone in this because she seems to be quite a popular character, but the way that Max is portrayed in the game, Chloe's best friend, she often comes across as quite unlikable to me, like she doesn't really care about Chloe. If you do a bit of exploring within the game, you will find stuff that will give you a slightly different perspective on a character, which is quite an interesting way of doing it. I just worry that sometimes that stuff you may not come across and it can be a bit too hidden, so this character that you're meant to like can come across as a bit too much of an arsehole, but that's only a slight issue I have with it. Not necessarily a big deal, and as I say, a lot of people seem to really like her, so perhaps I'm alone in that. The episode as a whole, though, I don't want to sound like I'm really negative on it. It was still decent. I did enjoy it for the most part. I just thought it wasn't as strong as the first 2, and I thought they were going in a really interesting direction. At the end of the second one, I was like, this is brilliant. I can't wait to see what they do next. At the end of this episode, I'm like, oh no, they're kind of losing it. So it does concern me that the 4th episode is going to go off the rails, but you know, just give them a chance. They did some really cool stuff. Let's see how it goes. I'm not going to write it off now, but it's definitely concerned about the direction of the series now, and just have to see how they resolve things in episode 4.
Then just get out of here. Like, stop fucking with me.